So next, moving on this evening, I want to talk about Mr. Jack Hirsch. So actually a former Xeroid, and his wife Dina Hirsch as well. And I've had the pleasure of reading his book. It's a great quick read, really talking about incremental change in your life and how to do it. Jack actually managed to do a significant amount of change in his life by basically deciding to he was unhappy doing what he was doing, and he wanted to do something different, and he changed everything about his life: who he hung out with, who he was doing it with, where he was doing it, and how he was doing it. And I think is just an incredible transformation incrementally, and I think we all have the opportunity to do those same things as well. But especially really talking about how we make these incremental changes individually for us, showing us the power of mind and the power of how it influences where we are, and our unconscious biases, not just that we have about other people and other people have about us, but that we have about ourselves. So without further ado, I'd love to bring Jack Hirsch. Give a big round of applause for him and his volunteers tonight.
Thank you, Jean. Good evening, everyone. Closing keynote. Let's make this a good one, all right? I'm going to apologize. I did do 2 workshops this morning. My voice is kind of going in and out. I'm going to do the best I can for you. As you heard, my name is Jack Hirsch. I'm a motivational hypnotist, and I'll explain what that means in just a few minutes and why these chairs are up here, but I think some of you already know why. My presentation is basically a presentation about getting and staying focused on your goals. And it's built around the idea that it's easy to get motivated, but it's difficult for most people to stay motivated. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. How many of you have ever made a New Year's resolution? All right. And that's not surprising. 67% of Americans make New Year's resolutions. But the sad reality is only about 10% of people ever actually achieve their goals. The number one resolution that people make is they want to get healthy and they want to lose weight. It seems everybody wants to lose that extra 10 pounds. And so they wake up on January 1st and they're full of motivation. And you know they're motivated because when you ask them why they want to lose the weight, they give you a whole list of reasons. They say things like, I want to look better, I want to feel better, I want to wear clothes I haven't worn in a long time. So you know they're motivated. But as I said, the problem is only 10% of people ever actually achieve their goals. So you see, it's easy to get motivated, but it's difficult for most people to stay motivated. And I say most because, as I said, 10% of people do achieve their goals. So the question becomes, what are they doing differently? I've been very fortunate. I've had the opportunity to travel around, meet, talk to, interview people who by most any standards would be considered high achievers, presidents and CEOs of corporations, managing partners of large financial organizations. And through all of those interactions I've had, one thing became very apparent to me. That if you want to be successful, all you have to do is make some subtle little shifts in your daily habits. And if you make these shifts and you do it consistently, unconsciously, and habitually, you soon realize you can achieve any goal you're set for yourself. In talking to these high achievers, I also realized, too, that the reason they're able to consistently, unconsciously, and habitually do the things that make them successful is because they've been programming themselves for success. They figured out someplace along the way that motivation doesn't last very long. In fact, for most people, it only lasts for 48 hours, and then it's gone. And you may have experienced this. Have you ever gone to an amazing conference, like this one, and heard an amazing motivational speaker, like this one? You leave that conference pumped up, motivated, committed to making some changes. But then a week later, you just find yourself back to doing the same things you've always done. No? That's never happened? Then you're a high achiever, because that doesn't happen to high achievers. They figured out someplace along the way that motivation doesn't last very long. Like I said, it only lasts for 48 hours. And if I were to put this in terms of exercise, we heard Mike talking the other day, just yesterday, about his exercise routine. So let's talk about exercise. If you got up tomorrow and you worked out for 1 hour, there's absolutely no chance you're going to see any lasting benefits from that single hour of exercise. But if you work out 3 days a week for 6 months, at the end of that 6 months, you're going to start to notice some of those benefits. But let's say you've been working out 3 days a week for 5 years, and then one day you wake up and you just say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. What you begin to notice is a gradual decrease in your overall health and fitness levels. And the same thing is true in all aspects of your life and in business. If you're not doing something every single day to keep yourself fired up and motivated, you're going to have good days and bad days. You may even have good weeks and bad weeks. And I'd be willing to bet that a majority of you here in the room can understand what I'm talking about. But the high achievers don't have those. They don't have patterns of good days and bad days or good weeks and bad weeks. because they've realized somehow, someplace along the way, that they need to be doing something every single day to keep themselves fired up, motivated, and focused on their goals. And tonight I want to share with you the top 3 most common techniques that high achievers use to stay focused on their goals, maintain their motivation, and to tie in the theme of your conference, keep that momentum going. And the first, the most common method used, is simply writing down your goals. Now, when I say write down your goals, I don't mean you write them down once a year, you stick them in a drawer and forget about them. That's no better than the New Year's resolutions. And as you heard, I'm a former Xerox employee, 20 years plus at Xerox, so I'm very familiar with the PEP process. And I will say this about the PEP process. It's a great start. But again, just writing your goals down once a year, filing them away until your mid-year review, and then only review them again one more time at the end of the year with your manager, just isn't going to get the job done. So what I recommend is, at a minimum, 3 to 5 times a week, jot down your goals. It's just keeping a little notepad on the corner of your desk. When you come into work in the morning, you just jot down your goals. For most people, if you're not constantly revisiting your goals, they get a little fuzzy, you get distracted. By writing them down 3 to 5 times a week, you stay focused on your goals and it keeps you motivated. So by a show of hands, how many people have heard this before? You should be writing your goals down every day. All right. Question number 2, and be honest, how many of you actually do it? All right. And that's pretty close. 2 out of 100 people will do it. About 2% of people will do it. And the number one reason people give for not doing it is they're just too busy. They don't have time. So if we translate that, what they're telling you is they're too busy being mediocre to spend a few minutes in the morning jotting down their goals. Second most common reason people will give for not doing it is it's boring. Oh, I was going to write down my goals, but you just don't understand how boring it is. Besides, I don't need to write down my goals. I know what my goals are. I know is the biggest killer of success out there. I know will hold you back so much because just knowing isn't enough. See, your brains are a tracking machine. It's the way we're wired, and it goes all the way back to primitive man. Inside your brain is this little bundle of nerves. And that bundle of nerves is part of what's called the reticular activating system. One of the functions of the reticular activating system is to filter information from your conscious mind down into your subconscious mind. And I'll give you an example of when your reticular activating system is kicked in. I'm going to assume you've all bought a new car. It doesn't have to be brand new, just new to you. I'm also going to assume that before you bought the car, you test drove different makes and models, you read different reviews until you found the car that was just right for you. So you go down to the dealership, you put your money down, you drive your car off the lot. And as soon as you leave the car lot, you are suddenly aware of every single car that looks just like your new car. In fact, sometimes it seems like every third car looks just like your new car. You weren't aware of them a week ago, but now all of a sudden, there they are. That's your reticular activating system. All the test drives you took, all the reviews you read, that all got filtered down into your subconscious mind. Your reticular activating system picked up on it, and it realized that for some reason, this car is important to you. And now it's taking every opportunity it can to point out every car that looks like yours. So if you could just imagine how powerful an ally your reticular activating system could be if you put it to work to help you achieve your goals. By writing your goals down 3 to 5 times a week, you're letting your reticular activating system know these goals are important. And in turn, it's going to take every opportunity it can to help make these goals a reality. But if I haven't convinced you that writing down your goals is a good idea, I'll share with you method 2. And method 2 is this. I'm going to make another assumption. I'm going to assume you all own a smartphone in this day and age. And believe it or not, I've done presentations where there's men that still have flip phones. I haven't run into anybody who still has a beeper yet, but the flip phones are still out there. So if you're not going to write your goals down, what I'd like you to do is just one time, find a quiet place, sit down, and pull out your smartphone. Every smartphone today comes loaded with an audio recording app. If your phone doesn't have one, just go out to an app store, download one. There's a ton of them out there. Most of them are free. So now, like I said, find a quiet place, sit down, and record your goals into your phone. Make the recording about 5 minutes long, which means you'll probably have to repeat your goals a few times, but repetition is important. So now, whenever you're riding in your car, sitting in traffic, I want you to listen to your goals. Anytime you take a break at work, listen to your goals. Every night before you go to sleep, especially, listen to your goals. I can make a fortune selling personalized hypnosis recordings to help people achieve their goals, but believe me when I tell you that hearing your own voice repeat your goals inside your head is far more powerful than any recording I could make. After all, it's your voice you hear inside your head giving you suggestions all day, every day anyway, so put that voice to work for you and let it help you achieve your goals. And besides that, it's simple, it's easy, and it's free. But if you're not convinced that you're going to write down your goals or that you're going to listen to your goals, I'm going to share with you the third method. And the third method is my specialty, and it's part of the reason I'm here today. As I said earlier, I'm a motivational hypnotist, and that means that I hypnotize people to help them achieve their goals. And I honestly believe that the top achievers are hypnotizing themselves to be successful. They may not call it that, they may not even realize that's what they're doing, but all you have to do is listen to them talk. You hear them say things like, I just get so focused. Top athletes talk about being in the zone. And believe me when I tell you, it's not a coincidence that the top achievers in the world are called visionaries. See, you can get thoughts or ideas into your subconscious mind in a lot of different ways. You can write them down repeatedly, you can record them and listen to them repeatedly, or you can visualize them repeatedly. Any thought or idea compounded repeatedly is going to end up in your subconscious mind whether you want it there or not. See if you can answer this question. Please don't squeeze the Charmin. That commercial's been off the air for probably 30 or 40 years now. When you were sitting there listening to it, oh, I got to hear the joke. What's the joke? Oh, well, you are younger than most people in there. She thought I was going to say, please don't squeeze the lemon. But you didn't sit down and try to remember that. It just droned in the background repeatedly, day after day, multiple times a day, and it just sunk in. As a kid, I could sing the theme to Gilligan's Island, but I couldn't remember the national anthem. Today, I could still sing I could still sing the theme to Gilligan's Island, and I still can't sing the national anthem because Gilligan's Island was on TV constantly playing over and over. Any thought or idea compounded repeatedly is going to end up in your subconscious mind whether you want it there or not. And put quite simply, visualization is hypnosis. So what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to guide you all through a simple demonstration that illustrates the power of visualization. Some of you who were in my workshop this morning know I love demonstrations. So if you don't mind, everybody stand up right where you are. Don't worry, this isn't the hypnosis part yet. And everybody just face me, face this way. Keep your feet planted. Give yourself a little bit of room between you and the people next to you. And just bring your right arm straight out in front of you and point with your index finger straight ahead. Perfect. Now what I'd like you to do is turn clockwise and only go as far as you can comfortably go. But when you get to that point, I want you to stop and pay attention to where you're pointing and remember that spot. Okay, and when you've got that spot, again, keep your feet planted and only twist your body. Okay, so let's start all over again. Everybody face me. Keep your feet planted. Bring your right arm straight up in front of you and only turn your body. And only go as far as you can comfortably go. Keep your feet planted and only turn your body. There we go. And pay attention to that spot. Now come back around and drop your arm by your side. And we're going to do this a few more times. But as I said, this is to show you the power of visualization. So we're only going to imagine. So what I want everyone to do is just close your eyes. That's just to shut out any other outside distractions. And I want you to imagine that your right arm is coming up in front of you. Don't physically do it, just imagine it. But imagine it so vividly that you can almost feel your right arm floating out in front of you. Now I want you to imagine again, turning clockwise. But this time, imagine going just a little bit further than you did the first time. And I want you to get that feeling of how good it feels to go beyond what you thought your limits were. Even just going beyond your limits just a little bit feels really good. So once you've done that, imagine coming back around, imagine your right arm dropping by your side. We're going to do this a couple more times. So again, imagine your right arm coming straight out in front of you, index finger pointing. But this time I want you to imagine when you turn, I want you to imagine that you go twice as far as you did the first time. So imagine your body turning and going twice as far as it did the first time. I want you to imagine how good it feels to push yourself even further beyond the limits you thought you had. Now imagine coming back around, your right arm dropping by your side. We're going to do this one last time, imagining. So again, imagine your right arm coming straight out in front of you, your index finger pointing, but this time, just like an owl can turn its head all the way around, I want you to imagine you can turn your body 360 degrees. I want you to imagine you could twist yourself all the way around and look right back here at me again. Imagine how good it would feel if you could just shatter any limits you thought you had for yourself. And when you've done that, I want you to imagine coming back around, your right arm dropping by your side, and go ahead and open your eyes. So we're going to do this one more time, but we're going to actually do it this time. So everybody, bring your right hand straight out in front of you, keeping your feet planted. I want you to turn clockwise, and notice how much further you go this time than you did the first time. And now, no, nobody went all the way around. We'd be calling ambulances for that. Go ahead and come back around, drop your arms by your side, and have a seat. And let's talk about this for a minute. So by a show of hands, how many people went further the second time than you did the first time? Not surprising at all. The average person will go 25% further the second time than they did the first. So my question to you is this. Did you have the potential the first time to go just as far as you did the second time? Just the potential, was it there? Absolutely. If the potential wasn't there, you wouldn't have been able to do it the second time. So then the question becomes, then why didn't you? And I want you to think about it for just a minute. Why didn't you go just as far the first time as you did the second time? And the answer is this. We all have self-limiting beliefs. You got beliefs about things you don't even know you've got beliefs about, including how far you can turn. By using visualization, you can tear down those old beliefs and reprogram your subconscious mind to realize that you're capable of so much more than you thought you were. So that brings us almost to the part of the presentation where I'm going to bring some people up on stage and hypnotize them. But before I do that, I want to say this. Don't let that word hypnotize scare you. Invariably, when I say hypnosis or hypnotize, people start to conjure up all kinds of ideas about what they think hypnosis is. And to be honest with you, most of it's false. Most people believe that from the time they wake up in the morning until they go to sleep, they're in a fully conscious state, and that's wrong. You actually only spend 30% of your waking hours in a fully conscious state. The other 70% are in a subconscious state, or what we call a trance state. And if you don't believe me, let me give you some examples. How many people have ever driven past their exit on the freeway? Yeah. Were you fully conscious when you did that? Do you make a habit of just going past that exit so you can burn gas and come back? Probably not. That's a trance state. How about this? Pull into your driveway at the end of the night, and you can't remember how you got there. You can't remember if you stopped at that stoplight. Was a stoplight? Was a stop sign? Did you stop at the stop sign? That's another trance state. Now you get out of your car and you walk into the house, and there's a member of your family, and they're just completely zoned out in front of the TV, mouth open, oblivious to the fact that you just walked in. It's another trance state. Try this the next time you're at the office. If you want to take a break and you're not listening to your recordings of your goals, get up and walk around. And how many of your coworkers do you see just kind of staring off into space, zoned out? Go up and snap them out of it. Ask them what they're thinking. And they'll tell you, and they're not lying. They'll say something like, I wasn't thinking of anything. I wasn't doing anything. Like I said, they're not lying. They're completely wasting the opportunity. Find one of your high achievers, snap them out of it, ask them what they're doing. And they'll tell you things like, I'm just trying to figure out how I can close this deal. You know, there's this client I'd really like to meet. I've heard Mike. Is Mike still here tonight? Yeah. There you are. I've heard you on the phone. Dina used to be on conference calls with you. We were working out of our home office, and I heard you say, if you could just give me an introduction to this client so I can talk to them. That's what high achievers do. They're trying to figure out how to close deals. They're trying to figure out who they know that can get them an introduction to a client so that they can contact that person. They figured out a long time ago that if they could tap into this trance state, they can use it to their advantage. So their daydream states are completely different from the average person's. So again, just simple little shifts in your daily habits. Learn to tap into this and use it to your advantage. And before I bring any volunteers up on stage, I'm going to make you 3 promises. And the first promise is this. You don't have to volunteer if you don't want to. It's the only skill I have. I quit Xerox, so this is my job. So if nobody volunteers, it's going to be really awkward for me. But you don't have to volunteer if you don't want to. No chickens? No, we don't cluck like chickens at all. That's promise number 3. Let me do promise number 2. Promise number 2 is this. It really is one of the best feelings in the world. 1 hour of hypnosis is like 8 hours of sleep. So a half hour up here is like a 4-hour nap. You're going to leave here feeling so energized and yet relaxed at the same time. Just did a conference a few weeks ago, and I didn't know until after the conference. A woman I brought up on stage, she told me afterwards that she had a splitting headache, migraine. She was feeling just lousy, tired. She came up on stage. She was ready to go party after the presentation was over. She felt like she had that 4-hour nap. I've had other people tell me that the strangest thing I ever heard is, I'm ready to go build a fence, and I don't even know what that means. But apparently he felt good enough that he was just going to go build fences. So it really is one of the best feelings in the world. And promise number 3 is this. I'm not going to humiliate anybody. We're not going to be clucking like chickens. We're not going to be pole dancing. Everything I do up here. What you do afterwards with all the drinks that you're going to have, that's up to you. But up here on my stage, we're not going to do that. Every demonstration I do ties with it a business message. It's going to be humorous. We're going to have some fun. But I'm not going to humiliate anybody. So again, just to recap, you don't have to volunteer if you don't want to, but I would really appreciate it if you do. Number 2, it's one of the best feelings in the world. Number 3, nobody will be humiliated, and I'm going to throw in a bonus. At the end of my presentation, if you volunteer, if you come up on stage, I'm going to give you some positive suggestions. So if there's anything in your life that you'd like to change, if you want to quit smoking, you want to lose weight, any goals you want to achieve, I'm going to give you some positive suggestions to help move you down the road. Again, it's about getting that momentum going and keeping the momentum going. So I'm going to fire some suggestions right into your subconscious mind to help you start moving down that road to creating any changes you want to make. That doesn't mean that one suggestion I'm going to give you is going to change your life, but it will get that momentum going. It'll get you moving down that road to make that a reality. Any information that goes into your subconscious mind, like I said, it's there. So how do I find my volunteers? Are you all familiar with the bell curve? All right. Bell curve works for me. Bell curve works for anything. Any random population, you give it some kind of constraint and it'll fall into the bell curve. For hypnosis, I know immediately when I walk into a room, my bell curve's a little different. I do 80, 10, 10 just because I like round numbers. But I know instantly when I walk into a room, 80% of the people in that room will make average volunteers. It means if I spend a little bit of time with you, I can get you in a decent state of hypnosis. Bell curve also tells me that 10% of the people in the room are going to make lousy volunteers. No matter what I do, they're going to fight me, and I don't even pay attention to those people. I'm looking for the 10% on the other end. What I'm really looking for are the top 2 to 3%. So it really is a numbers game. Top 2 to 3% of the people in the room are what we call somnambulists. It's just a fancy way of saying they go into hypnosis easily. So how do I find my somnambulists? There's a lot of different ways, but we found out a long time ago that the people with the best imaginations make the best volunteers because your imagination is in your subconscious mind. So when you're used to tapping into it, it's very easy for you to go back there. And so I have a test that I call the buckets and balloons, and it pretty much is just what it sounds like. It's a test of your imagination. And as I said, you don't have to volunteer if you don't want to, but I would like you to all follow along with this test just so that you can see what it's like. So if everybody could sit up straight in your chairs, push back away from the table just a little bit, and hold your right hand straight out in front of you, palm up, and your left hand straight out in front of you, palm down. That's why you need a little room away from the table. So as I said, it's a test of the imagination. So what I'd like everyone to do right now is just close your eyes down. Again, this is just to shut out any other outside distractions in the room. And during this test, I may come up to you, I may touch you on the shoulder, I may whisper to you. I promise you, I am not getting fresh, I'm not being funny. It just means I think you're doing a good job, I think you would make a good volunteer, and I just want you to follow my instructions if I do touch you on the shoulder and whisper to you. So let's all take a nice deep breath in, filling up our lungs. And exhale all the way out, feeling wonderful. We're going to do this 2 more times. This just helps you relax. So everybody take another nice deep breath in, really filling up your lungs. And exhale all the way out. And the third breath, deeper than the other 2, really, really filling up your lungs. And exhale, and just feel yourself beginning to relax. Now, as I said, this is a test of the imagination. So what I'd like you to do right now is just imagine you can see through your eyelids. Imagine you can see me standing right in front of you. And just imagine that in my right hand, I'm holding a bucket. This can be a bucket of any color because in just a moment, it's going to be your bucket. So now I want you to imagine you can see me walking up and I'm placing the handle to the bucket across the palm of your right hand. And I want you to close your fingers tightly around that bucket handle and don't let go. And now I want you to imagine I'm walking up and I'm placing the end of a garden hose into your bucket. And now just imagine I'm going to the other end of the garden hose and I'm turning on the water. I want you to imagine the water flowing through that garden hose and into your bucket. I want you to imagine you can see that water. Imagine you can hear that water. Imagine you can feel that bucket getting heavier and heavier and heavier. As that water continues to fill that bucket, I want you to imagine what it would feel like as that bucket gets heavier and heavier, drawing your right arm closer and closer to the ground. I don't want you to fight that weight. I want you to just allow it to happen. As that bucket continues to fill, it's going to be almost as if it's drawing your right arm straight down by your side. As that bucket gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Now just imagine I'm walking up and I'm tying a string around your left wrist. And attached to the other end of that string are 100 helium balloons. As that bucket continues getting heavier and heavier, those balloons are beginning to gently lift and rise, pulling your left arm higher and higher into the air. Gently lifting and rising, floating higher and higher and higher. That bucket getting heavier and heavier, drawing your right arm closer and closer to the ground. Is those balloons gently lifting and rising, rising and lifting, floating higher and higher into the air. Bucket pulling down, down, down. Balloons gently lifting up, up, up. Just go ahead and relax and just sleep and just keep going deeper and deeper relaxed. Balloons lifting and rising, rising and lifting, floating higher and higher into the air. As that bucket gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And just relax and sleep, just gently, deeper and deeper relaxed. Balloons lifting and rising. It's now like you have 200 helium balloons gently lifting and rising. And just sleep, relaxing all the way down, deeper and deeper relaxed with every word I say. Those 200 balloons gently lifting and rising, rising and lifting, floating higher and higher into the air as that bucket is now 3/4 full. Just sleep, relaxing all the way down. You're doing perfect. Those balloons gently lifting and rising. It's now like you have 400 helium balloons lifting and rising, rising and lifting. That bucket's so, so heavy. And just sleep, relaxing all the way down. That's okay. Just relax and let it go. Deeper and deeper relax. Perfect. Just sleep, relax, let it go all the way down. Gently lifting and rising, rising and lifting, floating higher and higher and higher. Just relax, sleep, let it go. Drop your head, go deeper, relaxed with every word I say. The bucket getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Just relax and let it go, relaxing deeper and deeper. As that bucket continues getting heavier and heavier. Balloons lifting and rising, rising and lifting. In just a moment, I'm going to count from 1 up to 3. When I get to 3, if I did not touch you on the shoulder, I would like you to open your eyes. If I did touch you on the shoulder, keep your eyes closed. Continue relaxing deeper and deeper with every word I say. Give me one more second. Just relax, let it go, sleep deeper and deeper relaxed. Again, if I touched you on the shoulder, if I whispered to you, keep your eyes closed. Everybody else on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open. Welcome back to the room. You guys all did great. I only have 6 chairs, so I had to find some of the people that did the best. Everyone else, if I touched you on the shoulder, if I spoke to you, in just a moment I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. I'm going to count from 1 up to 3. When I get to 3, I want you to open your eyes, and I'd like you to join me up here on stage, if you don't mind. It's on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open. Welcome back to the room. Let's give these guys a round of applause as they come up. Come on up. If I touched you on the shoulder, again, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you'd like to participate, that would be awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to need 2 more chairs. Thank you. Great, thank you. Oh. And one more right here. Okay, let's hear it for our volunteers. So why are they up here? Most of you had your eyes closed so you couldn't see this. Again, I could have chosen another 20 or 30 people in the room. You guys are actually very amazing subjects. But they were able to, yes, they were able to take a picture in their mind and convert it to a physical response at a subconscious level. Some of the things I look for, sometimes I say, I'm going to give you some positive suggestions. So when I do buckets and balloons, what I see is, and that's not a subconscious reaction. What I'm looking for is the balloons gently lifting and rising, the bucket pulling people. One of the women up here was actually almost falling out of her chair. That bucket was so heavy for her. And that's what we're looking for, taking an image in your mind and converting it into a subconscious action. So if you can give me just a few minutes, I'd like to put them into a deeper state of hypnosis, and then we'll do our demonstration. So give me just a few minutes. No need to be nervous. What's your name?
Linda.
Linda. Linda, do me a favor. See those spotlights back there?
Yeah.
I want you to just focus on those spotlights. I want you to just take a nice deep breath in and exhale. I want you to just remember what it felt like out in that audience, in that chair. Just remember how relaxed you felt. Take Take another nice deep breath in and exhale. And just remember how good it felt to feel so relaxed. One more nice deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, I just want you to close your eyes and just sleep back down again, Linda. Perfect. Just go deeper and deeper with every word I say. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm sorry, we met this morning, but I can't remember your name. Karen. Thank you. You said you wanted to volunteer too, didn't you? Oh, I'm doing the pad, aren't I? You had to be at the workshop. Karen, just do it. Look right here at me. Don't take your eyes off me. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. That's right. Another nice deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, just sleep all the way down. Close your eyes, resting deeper and deeper, relaxed. That's perfect. And what was your name?
Kim.
Kim? Kim, can you do me a favor and stare out at one of those spotlights for me? I want you to take a nice deep breath in too. And I want you to remember how great it felt out in that audience, just feeling relaxed, feeling wonderful. And take another nice deep breath in and exhale. And one more really deep breath in. And you too, just close your eyes and sleep all the way down, going deeper and deeper, relaxed with every word I say. Everybody else, I want you to just focus out at those spotlights. And just pick one of those spotlights and just stare at it. As you continue to stare at that spotlight, you're going to notice that your eyes are going to get heavier and heavier. And they may begin to water just a little bit. Each time they blink, I want you to just imagine a wave of relaxation washing over your entire body. So everybody take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, close your eyes down and just begin to relax and focus on the sound of my voice. I want you to shut out any other outside sounds and focus only on the sound of my voice. Again, people with the best imaginations make the best volunteers. So I'm going to ask you all to just imagine right now. Just imagine that there's a golden light shining on the top of your head. I want you to imagine this is the light of relaxation. I'm going to help you move this light from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, relaxing every single muscle, nerve, and fiber in your body. If you follow my instructions perfectly, you're going to find yourself more relaxed than you have been in your entire life. So right now, I want you to imagine that golden light shining on your head, giving you the best scalp massage you've ever had in your entire life. Just feel how relaxed that is. As we now move that light from the top of your head down across your forehead, imagining all the muscles growing loose, limp, and relaxed across your forehead. Now send that light down into your eyelids, relaxing every single muscle, nerve, and fiber in your eyes, relaxing your eyes so perfectly that if I were to ask you to open your eyes, you'd realize it's just too much effort, and your eyes would simply remain closed, almost as if you've got a little dab of super glue underneath each eyelid. Now send that relaxation from your eyes down into your jaw muscles. If your teeth are clenched, just allow them to unclench. Allow your teeth to part just a little, feeling that relaxation spreading throughout your entire face. Now I'd like you to send that relaxation from your face down into your neck muscles, feeling those neck muscles growing loose and limp just like a box of rubber bands. In just a moment, I'm going to count from 3 down to 1. When I get to 1, I'll snap my fingers. When I snap my fingers, I want you to instantly and automatically relax every muscle in your neck, allowing your head to come forward, allowing your chin to come closer to your chest. Feeling that relaxation spread in 3, 2, 1. Relaxing down, letting go deeper and deeper relaxed. If I come by and I touch you on the shoulder, don't let it disturb you. Just let it be a signal to your subconscious mind to allow yourself to relax even deeper. Always going deeper, relaxed with every word I say. Every word I say, every beat of your heart, every breath you take, sending you deeper and deeper into this wonderful state of relaxation. As you allow that relaxation now, that golden light to shine down onto your shoulders, relaxing from shoulder to shoulder, almost becoming contagious now, feeling that relaxation spread down through your arms, down past your biceps, down past your triceps, down into your elbows, down into your forearms, down into your wrists, down into your hands, and finally down into your fingers. Any now remaining tension you're carrying in your upper body, just allow it to flow freely down through your arms, just like that water through the garden hose earlier. Feeling that tension just melt away, gone from your mind, gone from your body, gone for good. As that relaxation now spreads down from your shoulders down into your upper back down into your lower back, and wrapping around you now like a blanket of relaxation, relaxing your chest muscles, relaxing your stomach muscles, allowing you to breathe more freely, allowing you to breathe more easily. You see, the more you relax, the better you feel, and the better you feel, the more you're able to relax and just let go. As that relaxation now spreads down past your hips, down into your thighs, your quadriceps, those big, strong muscles that work so hard all day, every day to move you from place to place. We never really give them a chance to just relax and let go. And now's the time to do that. Those muscles growing loose and limp again, just like a box of loose, limp rubber bands. Feeling that relaxation spreading down into your knees. Your legs becoming so relaxed that if I were to ask you to stand, you'd realize it's simply too much effort. And you'd remain seated right where you are. Even if you could stand, your legs so weak, so tired, you drop right back down into your chair, sinking 10 times deeper relaxed than you were before. Always going deeper relaxed, always focused on the sound of my voice as that relaxation now spreads down into your shins and your calf muscles, feeling them growing loose, limp, and relaxed. Down into your ankles, down into your feet, and finally down into your toes. Again, any and all remaining tension, any place in your body flowing freely now down through your legs, out through the bottoms of your feet, down into the earth, gone from your mind, gone from your body, gone for good. What I'd like you to do right now is just scan your bodies for any other pockets of tension. Any place that is not perfectly relaxed, just release that area now. Allow it to flow freely down through your legs, out through the bottoms of your feet. Completely gone, feeling wonderful. That's right. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to come by and I'm going to give a little tug on one or both of your arms. And when I do, again, don't let it disturb you. Just let it be a signal to your subconscious mind once again to go even deeper relaxed. You see, there is no limit to our relaxation. We only think there is. So when I give you a little tug on one or both of your arms, just allow that self-limiting belief to disappear. Allow yourself to go even deeper relaxed than you ever thought you were capable of doing. Nod your heads if you understand. Perfect. Just take a nice deep breath in. As soon as your hand touches your leg, 10 times deeper relaxed. Perfect. Nice deep breath in. And sleep all the way down. Perfect. Nice deep breath in. And sleep all the way down. You're all doing excellent. Nice deep breath in. And sleep. Perfect. Nice deep breath in. And sleep all the way down. Nice deep breath in. And sleep all the way down. Nice deep breath in. Just relax. The minute your hand touches your leg, sleep all the way down. Sleep. Perfect. And finally, nice deep breath in. As soon as your hand touches your leg, sleep all the way down. Perfect. Already more relaxed than you have been in a long time, but believe it or not, you can go even deeper relaxed, and we're going to do that right now. I'm going to count backwards from 10 down to 1. With each number I say, just double the relaxation that you're currently feeling. So as we go from 10 down to 9, doubling that relaxation, feeling wonderful. 9 down to 8, doubling with each number I say. 8 down to 7, 6, and 5, halfway there. Everybody take a nice deep breath in. So we go from 5, you exhale, down to 4, relaxing, letting go. 4 down to 3, down to 2, finally down to 1. Now there's still one number left, and I want you to imagine you can see that 0 floating out in front of you. The other side of that 0 represents complete and total relaxation. I'm going to count backwards from 3 down to 1. With each number I say, I want you to imagine that 0 moving closer and closer to you as you move closer and closer to that 0. When I get to 1, I want you to imagine passing through the 0 to the other side to complete and total relaxation. 3, 2, 1. Relaxing and letting go. Starting right now, whenever I say the word sleep or I touch you on the forehead, you instantly and automatically return to this very pleasant state. Always going deeper than the time before, because it feels so good to keep going deeper and deeper relaxed. So whenever I say the word sleep, sleep now, or I touch you on the forehead, you instantly and automatically return to this very pleasant state, always going deeper than the time before. Nod your heads if you understand. Perfect. So from here on out, everybody just continue relaxing, going deeper and deeper relaxed. Do me a favor, take a nice deep breath in. And sleep all the way down, deeper and deeper relaxed. You are doing so good. I'm going to use you, but you're going to stay right here in the audience, okay? Just continue resting and relaxing. You look like you're really enjoying it. So for the rest of this presentation, I want you to keep this in mind. You change the pictures in your mind, you change your behavior, and you change your performance. Yeah. Person I'm touching right now, I'll probably use you too. Just rest and relax right here in the audience. Follow along with every suggestion I give, even though you're in the audience. When I say the people up on stage, you just imagine you're one of the people on stage and follow those suggestions also. Nod your head if you understand. Perfect. And I just want you to be comfortable, so just drop your head forward and go deeper, relax, sitting up straight, sliding back in your chair, and just sleep. Perfect, right there. So again, yeah, if you need to hold him up so he doesn't bounce his head off the table, that'd be great. So again, you change the pictures in your mind, you change your performance. I ask them to imagine their bodies growing loose and limp like a box of rubber bands. And what I get is loose and limp, just like a box of rubber bands. So as I said, if you change the pictures, you change your performance, change your behavior. So the opposite of loose and limp would be stiff and rigid, right? So everyone up on stage, everyone out in the audience that's following along. In just a moment, I'm going to come by and I'm going to touch you on the arm. When I do, I want you to imagine that arm becoming stiff and rigid, just like a steel bar, just like this. This arm locking at the shoulder, locking at the elbow, locking at the wrist, just like a steel bar, locking stiff and solid. Do not let that bar bend. She is so relaxed, she's gone. We'll let her just relax and enjoy it. Start down here. This arm becoming stiff and rigid, just like a steel bar, straight out, locked at the shoulder, locked at the elbow, locked at the wrist. That's right. No matter how hard I try to bend it, I cannot bend that arm, stiff and rigid like a steel bar, getting stiffer and stiffer, more and more rigid. This arm, stiff and rigid like a steel bar, locking at the shoulder, locking at the elbow, locking at the wrist. That's right. More and more rigid, more and more rigid. This hand right here, stiff and rigid like a steel bar, locking at the shoulder, locking at the elbow, locking at the wrist. That fist tightening right down. Steel bar running from your shoulder down through your fist. This arm, stiff and rigid like a steel bar, locking at the shoulder, elbow, wrist. That fist, stiff and rigid. No matter how hard I try to push it down, do not let me push it. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar, locking at the shoulder, elbow, wrist. So stiff, do not let that bar bend. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Do not let it fall. Do not let it bend. Stiff and rigid, just like a steel bar. Locking at the shoulder, locking at the elbow. Getting stiffer and stiffer. I tap you on the shoulder. That bar locking down more and more. That bar will not bend no matter how hard I try to bend it. It will not bend. Getting stiffer and stiffer, more and more rigid. That's right, you're doing an excellent job. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Locking at the shoulder, locking at the elbow, locking at the wrist. No matter how hard I try to bend it, I cannot bend it. Do me a favor, test it. See how strong that steel bar is. But look at the same. But this hand, still loose and limp like a rubber band. Sleep all the way down. Just relax. I'm going to let him off the hook in just a minute. But again, stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Every other part of their body, loose, limp, and relaxed. Just like a rubber band. What this demonstrates is intense focus. They're focused only on that steel bar. Everything else, still completely relaxed. So no matter how hard I try to push, that's a steel bar. There we go, stronger and stronger. Everything else is loose and limp. This is incredible focus to be able to do that. Do me a favor, Gene, come here. Can you demonstrate what they're doing for everybody? Just copy what they're doing.
Can you do it?
Yeah, not even really close. Stiff and rigid, getting stiffer and stiffer, harder and harder, like a steel bar. And if you notice, Jean had to get herself all set. She had to plant her feet, and then she was ready to do it. These guys completely loose, limp, and relaxed. So again, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to create change in life, you need this kind of focus. If you want to be successful, you got to be able to focus on your goals and make your goals the one thing in life that really matters. But at the end of the day, you can't keep this up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These guys could. I could leave them here for like an hour, and they'll never get tired. Remember, the people who took the workshop, remember I was talking about the micro muscles? That's all that's at play right here. Those bigger muscles, they're still loose and limp. It's those micro muscles that are doing this, and those micro muscles never get tired. They could sit here for an hour and do this, and they'd be fine. But you can't do this for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're going to burn yourself out. So it's important at the end of the day to be able to just let go and sleep. Let it go, sleep, sleep, sleep. Relaxing, let it go, sleep, 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 sleep. Perfect. Sleep, relaxing all the way down. So again, just keep in mind, change the pictures in your mind, you change your behavior, you change your performance. Those pictures in your mind are so important to shaping everything we do, because that's your subconscious mind at work. So let's talk about emotions. Would you agree that your emotions play an important role in business? That if you have positive self-attitude, you believe in yourself, you believe in your products and services, you'll be far more successful than a person who has fear of failure, fear of rejection, and doesn't believe in their products and services. That makes sense, right? The amazing thing about hypnosis is, let me take care of this. What was your name again?
Ryan.
Ryan? Yes. Do me a favor. Sleep, relaxing all the way down. Ryan, I'm going to count from 1 up to 3. When I get to 3, only for Ryan, when I get to 3, you're going to open your eyes. My voice will no longer affect you. You'll be able to watch and enjoy the show. You will no longer drop back into hypnosis. You're fighting it. You seem like you really just want to watch this presentation. Am I right? Yeah, pretty close. On the count of 3, Ryan. 1, 2, and 3. Ryan, welcome back. My voice will no longer affect you, okay? You can watch the presentation. When I say sleep, nothing happens, right? Sleep?
It was a great presentation.
Okay, but there's still a little bit more to watch, okay? Yep, you're just going to watch it from now on now.
All right.
And the same thing here. On the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. Only the person I'm touching right now, on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. My voice will no longer affect you. You'll be able to keep your eyes open. You'll be able to watch the presentation. You'll gain everything you can. At the end of the presentation, I am going to drop you two back into hypnosis so you can have those positive suggestions. So on the count of 3, only the person I'm touching right now. 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open. Welcome back. Okay. My voice will no longer affect you. You'll be able to keep your eyes open and watch the presentation, okay? You didn't even know you went on vacation. That's all right. Ryan's a trip. Ryan, you and I are talking after the presentation, okay? I'm going to tune you up just a little bit. But again, your emotions play an important role. And by using visualization, you can tap into your emotions, which means you can turn some emotions down and turn others up. And I can demonstrate this in a lot of different ways. I'm obviously going to do it in a humorous way, but there's a message that goes with this, and I'll give you the message at the end of the demonstration. But everyone up on stage, in just a moment, I'm going to tap you on the shoulder. When I tap you on the shoulder, you're going to begin laughing like you just heard the funniest joke in the world, and here it comes. Starting to laugh now. The more you try to stop the laughter, the harder you're going to laugh, and it's going to get funnier and funnier. Here's the joke, and you're going to start laughing harder and harder, laughing harder and harder. Just keep laughing harder and harder. Next time I tap you on the shoulder, it gets 10 times funnier. This is the funniest joke, and you haven't even heard the punchline yet. It just keeps getting funnier and funnier. It's the funniest, most off-color joke you've ever heard in your entire life. You're embarrassed that you're laughing, but there's the punchline, and it's 100 times funnier. You cannot stop laughing. No matter how hard you try, you're going to keep laughing harder and harder and harder. Now, you guys are amazed by this, that they can turn it on that fast. This amazes me. Everybody take a deep breath in and sleep all the way down. And sleep. Sleep. Okay, you can go ahead and go back. You can go ahead and go back. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hear you too much.
Okay. So the message that goes with this. We heard during the keynote presentation today, during lunch, that if you want something, you got to learn to ask for it, right? You don't get things that you don't ask for. So if you want a raise, you want a promotion, you have to be willing to step up and ask for it. But there's a lot of people that are afraid. They get nervous. They don't want to approach their boss and tell them what great jobs they're doing, what a great contribution they've been. It makes them nervous. Using visualization, you can tap into those emotions. You can eliminate those negative emotions and program yourself for calm, cool confidence so that you can go into those situations where you feel confident going in and asking for that promotion or asking for that raise. You've done a great job. There's no reason to not feel confident. But still, some people have those second thoughts, that negative talk in their head, and they get nervous. Spend 5 minutes before you go in and talk to your boss. Close your eyes, find a quiet spot, and just visualize that nervousness melting away and feeling that calm, cool confidence come over you. If you practice this, you can eliminate those negative feelings altogether. You can reprogram your subconscious mind for calm, cool confidence. And the same thing is true when you're dealing with change. Again, 20-year veteran of Xerox, I saw the PEP change 5 or 6 times. Little changes upset people. I don't know how many times I heard, why do we have to do this now? Why did they change it? Why didn't we just leave it the way it was? It can be big changes. We've had colleagues go over to Conduit and come back. Back when it was Xerox Services, they went over and came back. So whether it's a small change or a big change, most resistance to change is based in fear. Whether it's fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or just a general feeling of, I don't like this isn't how we've always done business. Again, using visualization, you can tap into your subconscious mind and change those feelings, make them a positive feeling. 2 years ago, I had to have brain surgery. And I consider that a change because I don't know about you, but brain surgery is not something I do every day, so it was a big change for me. And I had 2 fears going into the surgery. The first was that fear of the unknown. I didn't know anything about this surgery. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to come out of it. I didn't know if I was going to come out of it. It ended up being a 7-hour surgery on my brain, so I was nervous. I had another fear, and that was I didn't like tubes. I didn't want to be intubated, and I didn't want a catheter. So to address that first fear, that fear of the unknown, I actually found the video of the exact surgery I was having on YouTube. And I watched that video over and over. I probably watched it 4 or 5 times. And the first couple times, it made me queasy. I didn't like watching it, but I knew if I was going to eliminate any unknowns, I had to get through this video. So again, I watched it 5 or 6 times. And then the day came, I had to go in and talk to my neurosurgeon. So he sits me down, and he says, would you like me to explain the surgery to you and what's going to happen? I said, no. I've already watched the video. I know exactly what's going to happen. And he's a neurosurgeon, so he laughs and says, okay, why don't you tell me what's going to happen? I said, well, you're going to bring me in, you're going to put me in a halo, you're going to strap me down, you're going to take a Black & Decker to the back of my head, you're going to drill a hole, you're going to move my brain around a little bit, and you're going to put some Teflon pillows in to fix the nerves that have been affected. And he laughed and he said, all right, well, that's very basic, but you kind of get it, so okay. He said, do you have any other fears? And I said, yes. I said, I don't want to be intubated because I don't want to wake up in the middle of a surgery, freaking out, trying to rip the tube out of my throat. And I don't want a catheter just because I don't want anything stuck up there. So he just kind of chuckles and he says, well, don't worry about that. And I felt so relieved. I said, all right, great. Then we're not going to do it? He goes, no, we're going to do it. It's just you don't have any say in the matter, so why are you wasting time worrying about it? And he was absolutely right. I knew in that moment everything was going to be fine. He had the right attitude. Don't worry about the things you can't control. I'd already taken control of the unknown. So I knew going into that surgery everything was going to be okay. And I knew with the proper mindset, my recovery was going to be so much better. In fact, I remember going into the surgery. My wife Dina was with me. I remember they gave me a little cocktail of the feel-good drugs. And I'm waiting for that fear to come back. Here it comes. We're going to go have the surgery. And it never hit. I remember getting wheeled down the hallway, and then it just went black. And I woke up in my recovery room. In fact, I woke up laughing and joking because for the surgery, they had to put probes in to make sure they didn't do any serious nerve damage or damage to any parts of my brain. So I woke up wondering what the stigmata was all about. I had blood spots on my hand. And when I opened my eyes, my wife was there, my parents were there. I think my wife's mother was there. And I was in such a good mood, I came out joking. My gown had slid off, and here's all these people. And I said, man, if I had known you guys were all going to show up, I would have done some push-ups first or something. So proper mindset is so important. I'm not going to tell you the recovery didn't suck because it sucked really bad. It was 6 weeks. I had to basically learn how to walk again. I shuffled my feet along, but little rewards for progress. I had a plate of brownies, and after a week, I needed a new plate of brownies because every time I got up out of bed, I'd give myself a reward. But again, having the proper mindset meant so much. I recovered within 6 weeks, and that was pretty good considering how I felt on day 2. Day 1, right after the surgery, like I said, I was joking, but then the real drugs kicked out, had worn off, and I wasn't feeling as good as I was. But again, for you guys, if you're faced with a change, big or small, again, If you're feeling nervous, apprehensive, any fear about it, reach out to someone. Get the answers. There shouldn't be any unknowns. You've got a great network within Xerox. Call people, ask questions, talk to your manager. Any change at all. Do not allow there to be any unknowns. And as far as those feelings of, I don't like this isn't how we've always done business, you got to let it go. There are some things in life you have no control over. And as soon as you learn to let go of the things you don't have any control over and take control of the things that you do have control over, sooner you can learn to embrace the change, get over that apprehension and fear, and just move forward successfully. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about emotional control. We've all heard the saying, never let them see you sweat, right? It's a physical response. I have absolutely no control over it. Check this out. Everyone up on stage. In just a moment, I'm going to count from 1 up to 3. When I get to 3, you're going to realize you're no longer sitting here in this ballroom, in this banquet hall. You're now sitting on a gorgeous, beautiful beach. It's 85 degrees out, sun shining down, and you are feeling wonderful, feeling that sun beating down on you. It's on the count of 3. Temperature's now 88, 89, 90 degrees. 1, 2, and 3. Kicking back, feeling that sun beating down on you. It's 95, 96, 97 degrees. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. 98, 99, 100 degrees. Fan yourselves off. Do what you got to do to stay cool. It's now 101, 102, 103 degrees. That's right. If you got a jacket on, you can take the jacket up. Keep your clothes on. We are on a public beach. It's now 106, 107, 108 degrees. Getting hotter and hotter. Put a little sunscreen on. You don't want to get a sunburn out here on this beach. But look off on the horizon. You can see some storm clouds moving in. They're going to threaten to ruin your day, but it's now 108, 109, 110 degrees, 115, 120 degrees. It is getting so hot. Fan yourselves off. Do what you got to do to stay cool. 125 degrees. I just moved to Arizona back in December. We had one of the hottest summers on record, and it did not get this hot. It's 130 degrees and getting hotter and hotter. But those storm clouds are moving in. And you can feel those sprinkles starting to fall on your head just a little bit. That storm's going to ruin your day. You can feel that temperature starting to drop now. Just keep feeling that heat beating down on you, though. So this is pretty good that they can feel this. But they're up here under some lights. Maybe in front of people, they get a little nervous, they get a little warm. But that storm is now moving in. The temperature's dropping down. It's now 90 degrees. Oh, it's taking a big drop. It's down to 80 degrees, dropping 10 degrees at a time, down to 70 degrees. You took that jacket off, and it's now down to 50, 40, 35 degrees. It's so cold. You can't remember how to put that shirt on. And it's now down to -5, -6, -7 degrees, getting colder and colder. That's right, you got to huddle up, you got to stay warm. It's now -40 degrees. That sweat that was forming on your forehead is now turning into icicles, and it's getting so cold. So everybody takes a deep breath in, you exhale, the temperature returns to normal, and you sleep all the way down. Sleep, sleep, sleep. So again, remember what I told you. Change the pictures in your mind. You change your behavior. He's out again. You change your behavior and you change your performance. You can actually, through hypnosis, control your own pulse. I could make the pulse in the left hand slower than the pulse in the right hand. It's the same heart, but you got so much control over your bodies that you're not even aware of. Tap into that subconscious mind. Use visualization. Change the pictures in your mind. Change your behavior. Change your performance. It is so powerful, as you can see. Yes?
Why can you control it? I can control my own self. Why are you doing it?
I'm just very talented at getting them into this state. Again, if you practiced, you could be right here too. It's not that I can do it. I can give...
Practice to make someone do that to me.
No, you could do it to yourself. By practicing visualization, you can actually tap into your own subconscious mind, and you can control so many things you're not even aware of. The one thing everybody says is, he makes me so angry. Nobody makes you anything. You allow it to happen. You have control over that. That's more emotional control. Ryan, you all right?
No.
Oh, now you're cold? Hey, Ryan, when I clap my hands, it's the perfect temperature for you, just like... Oh, I'm going to turn it down. I clapped too hard. I'll turn it down just a little bit. Is that good? Perfect. All right. We'll adjust it. If you need to adjust it, just reach up and grab the dial and turn it down just a little bit. Okay? All right. You're in complete control. Again, he can do it to himself. Ryan, check this out. Turn the temperature way down. Feel how cold it gets. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. Go ahead and turn it up to a normal... yeah, I know. The nipple, yeah. I know. Don't rip your shirt. Don't rip your shirt. Go ahead and turn it up to a comfortable temperature. All right, right there. Right there. We're perfect. Again, you have control over so much that you don't even realize you have control over. The clock isn't running for me. Am I running late? Am I okay to keep going for a couple more? Okay. Okay, let's have a little fun. Person I'm touching right now, only the person I'm touching right now. In just a moment, I'm going to count from 1 up to 3. When I count to 3, everybody's going to open their eyes. But when you open your eyes, you're going to realize you're thirstier than you've ever been in your entire life. You're going to be very confused about why your shirt's over your head, but you're also going to realize that you're thirstier than you've ever been in your entire life. It's like you just spent a week in the desert without water. It's like you got cotton in your mouth, sand in your mouth, and you're getting thirstier and thirstier and thirstier. Nod your head if you understand. Perfect. As soon as you open your eyes, you're going to ask me for a bottle of water, and that's not a problem. I've got bottles of water for you. The problem is, no matter how hard you try, you will not be able to open that water bottle. It's like you got the strength of a newborn baby, and you're going to keep getting thirstier and thirstier. Nod your head again if you understand. Perfect. Everybody up on stage on the count of 3, eyes open. 1, 2, and 3, eyes open. Everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. Trying to do my show, and you were playing peekaboo with me. Is everything okay? You look thirsty. A little bit? A little bit? All right, I got water for you. You got a bottle of water. If anybody else wants a bottle of water, I got like 3 more bottles if anybody wants any. But she's going to get thirstier and thirstier and thirstier. And she just can't open that bottle. So we did the pointing exercise. We talked about self-limiting beliefs. Right now, she's got a major self-limiting belief. She's created a picture in her mind that tells her she cannot open that water bottle. Any other time, she would be able to rip that bottle open and chug the water. I got it, Ryan. I got it. I got this one, okay? You can relax. Temperature okay? You can turn it down. Adjust it as much as you want. But again, it's that picture in her mind giving her that self-limiting belief that she can't open that water bottle. And no matter how hard she tries. And here's the kicker to this. Oh, she broke it. That's how she got it. Go ahead and drink it. But notice. But notice, no matter how much she struggled, she didn't ask anybody for help. She kept fighting through it. As human beings, for some reason, we feel like asking for help is a sign of weakness. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Like I said, reach out to people. Use your network. Yeah, you will not get sick. But it's feeling much better. So again, 99% of the time when I do this demonstration, the person doesn't ask for help because we believe that it's a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. I think it's a sign of stupidity if you have a problem and you don't ask for help. It's a sign of intelligence to admit that you need help with something, so ask for help. Is that good water? Are you done? Oh, okay. Go ahead and finish it up. I got to wrap up the demonstration here. You done now? Okay. That thirst is completely gone, and you feel wonderful. Yep, just like that. Feel good? Everybody up on stage, take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, sleep all the way down. Perfect. Does anybody have any questions about what we've seen? About hypnosis, about subconscious mind, about anything at all? Ryan? Eyes open, Ryan. Yes, Juanita.
What makes them more susceptible to be hypnotized than others?
Again, it's that creative imagination that they have. A lot of times when I'm working with people, I find out later that they were athletes. Wrestlers love to go through the entire match in their head before they even step on the mat. Golfers will step up to the tee. They'll play the entire hole before they even take a club out of their bag. They know exactly what they're going to do. It's just that ability to have a vivid imagination that makes them so much better. You're all capable of this. This is a natural process. Everybody has to go through hypnosis to fall asleep at night and to wake up in the morning. Because in life, you're either awake or asleep or someplace in between. They're just in between right now. So you have to pass through this to go to sleep at night and pass through it again to wake up in the morning. So it's a very natural process. If you practice visualization 5 minutes a day, every day, if I came back next year, you would be up here. You just got to practice that visualization technique. Just tap into your subconscious mind and allow it to open up. Any other questions? Okay, I am going to wrap it up, so I'm going to give them their positive suggestions. So if you can just give me a few minutes. This is a great visualization technique. So if there's a goal that you want to achieve, a change in your life that you want to make, this is a great visualization technique that I'm going to guide them through. Just pay attention. Ryan, I'm going to give you the positive suggestions. Sit up straight in your chair. And close your eyes and sleep, Ryan, all the way down. Focus on the sound of my voice, Ryan. Oh, yeah. I forgot I was going to give you those suggestions, too. You want some positive suggestions? Go ahead and sit up straight in your chair. I'm not going to ask you to do anything silly. I'm just going to talk to you now. Take a deep breath in and sleep all the way down, resting and relaxing deeper and deeper. Thank you. What? Oh, you need positive suggestions? Go ahead and close your eyes and just follow along. Like I said, this is just a visualization technique. It's going to be a little more powerful for them because they're in a slightly deeper state of hypnosis. But visualization is hypnosis. So if you just close your eyes and follow along, everybody can close their eyes and follow along if they want to. That way you feel what it feels like if you wanted to do this at home. So everyone in the room that wants to follow along, everyone up on stage, everyone out in the audience. If there's any change in your life that you'd like to make, now is the time to make that happen. If there's any goals that you would like to achieve, if you want to quit smoking, lose weight, anything positive that you would like to change in your life, now is the time to make that happen. As we saw tonight, the subconscious part of the mind is a very powerful part of the mind, but it's a very playful part of the mind, but it's also the part of the mind where powerful change happens. So what I'd like you to do right now is create an image in your mind. Again, it's all about the pictures in your mind. Create an image in your mind of a future you having been completely successful at making whatever change you'd like to make. I want you to make this image as big, bold, and bright as possible. I want you to blow it up to the size of an IMAX screen. I want you to make those colors as vivid as you can. If there's any sound associated with this image, I want you to turn the volume up. Make that sound crystal clear. And I want you to focus on this image. I want you to ask your subconscious mind to make this image a reality. And in return, it will go to work. Your RAS will kick in, your reticular activating system will kick in, and it'll start looking for every opportunity to help you make this image a reality. As you continue to focus on this image, I want you to notice your posture. Notice the smile on your face. Notice how proud you are for having made this change that you want to make, for having achieved this goal you want to achieve. I want you to now step into that image, almost as if you're stepping into a TV screen or stepping into that IMAX screen. I want you to get really close, look at yourself, look at your posture, look at that smile on your face again. And now I want you to step inside that image of yourself, almost like you're putting on a suit, a brand new suit. I want you to step inside that image of you. I want you to see the world through that future you's eyes. I want you to feel those feelings of pride, how proud you are for having made this accomplishment. And I just want you to continue to focus and concentrate on this image. Again, asking your subconscious mind to make this image a reality, feeling all of those feelings that are associated with achieving the goals you want to achieve in life. Just continue focusing and concentrating on that image. And again, if you do this 5 minutes a day, every day, you start to realize that you eliminate some of those barriers that you put up for yourself because you have those feelings of pride, those feelings of accomplishment. You're going to carry those feelings with you every day. And every second of every minute of every hour of every day for the rest of your life, those feelings are going to go stronger and stronger. So just continue to focus and concentrate on those images. I want to thank you all for allowing me to be here this week with you. As I said, as a former Xerox employee, I've known about the TWA for a while. My wife Dina attended a few conferences, so it really made us proud to know that you reached out to us and asked us to be here. So thank you to the committee. Thank you to Jean for recommending us. We really do appreciate being here. And I hope you had a good time tonight. I heard some laughter. I got some good reviews, some feedback on the workshops I did this morning. But more important than that is please take one of these techniques I've shared with you. Take two, they're small. But take one of these techniques and begin to implement it. I promise you, if you start implementing these techniques, if you stay focused on your goals, you can achieve any goal you set for yourself. The motivation is there because your goals are constantly in front of you. So take one of these techniques and use it. As you heard earlier, I wrote a book. I've got some audio recordings. We're going to have a table set up out in the other room. If you'd like to purchase the book or the audio recordings, please see Dina. She can help you out afterwards. No obligation to buy anything, but they will be out there. In just a moment, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. When I get to 5, I want everyone to open their eyes, feeling fully refreshed, awake, alive, and alert. Those of you that have been hypnotized, you're going to feel like you had that 4-hour nap. You're going to feel like you just had 3 cups of coffee. You're going to feel amazing. And yet you're going to feel relaxed at the same time. As I promised you, it's one of the best feelings in the world, and you're going to leave here feeling like it was the best feeling in the world. Starting with the number 1, still completely relaxed and feeling wonderful. And the number 2, beginning to orient to the room around you, becoming aware of the other sounds and the other people in the room. And the number 3, taking a nice deep breath in, filling up your lungs with clean, fresh oxygen. And the number 4, your eyes beneath the lids feeling as if they've been bathed in a cool mountain spring. And on the last number, you'll realize all of this applause is for you. When everyone else opens their eyes, they're going to clap. I want to thank you guys for allowing me time with your subconscious mind so I can make this demonstration possible. On 5, eyes open, wide awake, fully refreshed, awake, alive, and alert. I want to thank you all for volunteering. You can return to the audience. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for volunteering and being such good sports. Thank you so much. Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Jack Hirsch. Please enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you again for inviting us out here. Take a nice deep breath in and sleep all the way down. Ryan, for you, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. When I get to 5, all of these feelings are going to melt away. You're going to feel refreshed. You're going to feel supercharged. You're going to feel awesome. You're going to feel great. This feeling of feeling groggy, feeling sleepy is going to go away. When your head hits the pillow tonight, you're going to have one of the best night's sleep ever. But for the rest of this evening, after you open your eyes, you're going to be fully refreshed, awake, alive, and alert, feeling awesome. This is only for you, Ryan, on the count of 5. 1, feeling that energy charging from your feet up through your toes, up into your body. 2, up past your waist, up into your stomach, up into your back. 3, up into your shoulders. 4, up into your neck. And 5, up into your head, eyes open, wide awake, fully refreshed, awake, alive, and alert. How much better do you feel now?
Feel good?
I'm feeling good.
All right. Give him a big round of applause.
Oh,
Are you feeling good? Okay. Thank you all again. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. That was amazing. I was skeptical, but that was amazing.
Do you know that you were skeptical?
No, I was skeptical when we first came in.
Do you know what just happened there?
I feel rested.
Did you know you were sleeping for the last 10 minutes?
I knew I was up there. It was, but it was.
You were asleep
I know.
for 10 minutes.
I am now a believer. of
That's
this.
amazing.
It was amazing.
Can we please
it
give
was
Jack
amazing.
another round of applause?
Yes.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.